Om Shri Sai Ram. Loving Sairams to all and welcome to today's session. We are honored to have with us Sri Professor Mukundan Sir, Journal President, South Zone, Sri Sathya Seva Organizations, India. I would like to request Professor Mukundan Sir to take over and introduce and welcome our esteemed guest speakers for today's session. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Prayerfully seek divine permission for starting the session. Once again, loving Sai Ram to all of you. I'm very happy to welcome and introduce our speakers and welcome you all. Professor Sudheer Bhaskar sir and Amey Deshpande need no introduction now because they have addressed the previous sessions. But if there is anybody who is joining for the first time with these sessions of SSSSCHV organizations South Zone, a brief introduction for both of them. Professor Sudheer Bhaskar sir, after an excellent education in the best educational institutions in the country, sir joined the Bhagavan's Divine Mission, first in the organization, SSSSCHV organization, and became a faculty member at Prashanthi campus of Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Later became the director of the Prashanthi campus of Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. After that, sir served the Divine Mission as the director. 1 minute, please. Director of Radio Sai. Currently, Sudheer Bhaskar sir is serving the Divine Mission as the director of Sri Sathya Sai Center for Human Values. And on behalf of all of you, and on behalf of Sathya Sai organization South Zone, we welcome you, sir, to this session. Amey Deshpande, a product of Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, molded by Bhagavan, a member of Prashanthi Bhajan Group, a faculty member of Sri Sathya Sai Center of Human Values, and on behalf of all of you and on behalf of Sathya Sai organization, we welcome Amey Deshpande also to this session. Over to you, sir, Sudheer Bhaskar sir. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Dearest Bhagavan, offering myself at thy divine lotus feet. Swami, I have a small prayer. Please hold all our hands and lead us on the path you have chosen for us, the destination being thy divine lotus feet at the end of the journey. Sai Ram. Thank you, Dr. Mukundan, for your kind words. And welcome to all the members from the South Zone in the area of media. What I would like to, you would have heard there's no title which I have been mentioned to you about this session. Broadly, it will be about the various gems of wisdom, pearls of wisdom, which I was able to gather while being here and as part of the organizations, while serving Swami and being in his presence, undertaking various activities. Those which I have been able to collect. I'll also mention the context in which I was able to get these germs and the learning which was there for me. Possibly, it may not have had the same learning for all of you also, but from the incident which I am going to narrate, all of you can also draw your own inferences. What is Swami is trying to communicate to each one of you for bettering your own life in the area of your profession or in your personal life. That will be the objective and the context in which this session is going to be all conducted. At the very outset, when I joined this Sathya organization called Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, it was such that this institute was started only in 1981 as a university. And before that, there were colleges, both at Anantapur and Vrindavan, Bangalore, and also in Prashanthi, Nilayam. I'd like to give a little brief background of the context in which we have to understand this particular program. Some aspect I'll cover now, but as we go down with each episode which I'm going to narrate, I will add to it. I came with possibly a lot of ego because like Mukundan said about my background and achievements and blah, blah. But I was very clear that when I came, all that will be in dustbin. As far as I'm concerned, I am going to start a new life, a new chapter in my life, a new page, and freshly it's going to be written by Swami, possibly which I'm able to read and understand and make progress on the direction in which he wants us so that we reach destination. In that context, I would like to mention that one day in the veranda, many of you who have not been to Prashanthi may not understand what this is, but you would have seen the video which I shown at the beginning. There are places where people congregate and sit, and Swami will be moving. And over a period of time, the areas in which people sit have been segregated, like VIPs and staff and devotees and students. All the categories were available in the nearby. And some large number would be sitting little more outside, but everybody from wherever they sit are able to visually see Swami and understand what he's trying to say. So that is the configuration which I am talking about. One day, Swami came to the veranda where we were all seated. And I was not sitting anywhere front or something. I was somewhere in the middle of that particular area. Swami walked up to me and asked me a very strange question. And like now we are in the cricket season, I was clean bowled. I did not know what answer Swami is expecting from me, whether I should give the answer or not, which is so-called truth. In that context, Swami asked me this question after introducing me to all the VIPs, saying this is the qualification, this is the experience, this is what he achieved, and blah, 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 all that, and he's working my college as a faculty. And suddenly, out of the blue, he asked me a question, looking at me very sincerely, with inquisitiveness, and a little sternly possible, so that I don't skip answering the question. That's the reason why the sternness. He asked me a question, how much salary am I paying you? I'm talking this sometime 1989. And you can imagine what other type of salaries people are getting, this pre-liberalization. And there are a lot of restrictions over salaries and other things. And also because the situation, not much was being paid in government service and organized sector to any individual, except possibly little in the private sector, only to the top echelons. Down the line, everybody is same across the board. So I did not know, because Swami had raised me to almost the sky. And as a faculty member, you don't get much. And because he elaborates so much about my past and the type of companies where I worked and what I achieved, people's expectation will be my salary will be some up and above the need levels, which is normally considered to be high net worth individuals. So I did not know if I tell what is so-called the truth, am I pulling down the image of Swami? Or am I glorifying about myself, how great I am by sacrificing so much and coming here? I was in a dilemma. In a dilemma, there's no point talking what comes to your head, which could be little dangerous. So I keep mum. I just kept staring at Swami and not looking at any other VIP or anybody around, because they'll be also be very curiously wanting to know what it is. But I kept my mouth shut, sealed almost, and was just looking at Swami, please get me out of this jam. Don't repeat it and go back. He repeated second time. Same response from me. He asked me third time. Same response. Fourth time, he asked me very sternly. I had to say something. So I just opened my mouth and talked in a way only possibly Swami and few others around can understand what I'm saying. I just, Swami, you know the answer. Why are you asking me this question? Possibly the reason why he asked me so that people know what is the thing. And, I felt it's not something great for people to know, except putting either Swami in the wrong side or putting him in a very high pedestal. I didn't want to be in either of the sides. I wanted to be somewhere neutral, be down to earth. This was a situation. I just kept quiet. And after some time, Swami went back, possibly a little upset. But because I did not know what the right answer would be, so I thought at some point in time, Swami will tell me in such situation, what should be my answers be? And I never had the courage, whenever I got an opportunity to talk to Swami, ask this question, Swami, what did you expect me as an answer, from me as an answer? I didn't. So what I just kept quiet and said, sir, at some point in time, Swami will tell me so that the learning will be there for me. When he chooses to tell me, and I don't have to hurry up that particular time period. It continued for some time. There was no response. And I was back to normal. Swami and everybody, Swami doing so much of work and all that. Come about 1994. This happened around 1989 or something. Because I am very poor in keeping calendars, because I had never had the habit of writing diaries. And at that point in time, it didn't occur to me these things will become very significant over a period of time. So I just forgot about all that. And I was given an opportunity to walk behind Swami. And one of the days, my duty was whatever letter Swami used to give to me to hold on, because the number of letters which will come to him will become very bulky and large in number. And it will be difficult for him. And in case he wants to bless or do something, both hands would be totally filled. In that situation, he used to give to me. And there was any brother of mine to whom also used to give. I was holding. And and also to prevent people from crossing the lines and coming onto the area which is prohibited from, because they were supposed to such a discipline, and people were supposed to adhere to the discipline. Like you saw when Swami was going around collecting letters and giving darshan, they were all organized and sitting without any indisciplines. Discipline is most important. So we are trying to implement that with new people coming. We did not know whether they know these rules. So I just we all were keeping track that there is no indiscipline during darshan time. So in one area, Swami was coming and somebody was very agitated, was sitting in the second row, first row, I don't remember. First row, I think he was trying to give a letter to Swami. And Swami saw him from a distance and he almost ignored him and did not take the letter. Swami crossed him and had to come to the next person. Just about crossing the time, without looking at him, Swami picked that letter and gave it to me. Directly, he didn't keep it in the bunch. He gave it to him. And Swami went to the next person. I was just behind. So I came in front of the gentleman who gave the letter to Swami, which I was holding. I was about to put it into the bundle. That gentleman held my hand and pulled me and said, little loud, hey, be careful with this letter, huh? There's a draft for 10 lakhs. Okay. And 10 lakhs those days were quite a big amount of money. I was about to go to the next person. Swami was about to go to the next person. At that time, Swami also heard it. He took one step back, and I also took one step back. Swami came in front of him, took the letter which was still in my hand. I did not put in the cover. It was in my hand. He, without looking at it, picked that cover from my hand and dropped it in his lap. And he walked forward. And he was so desperate, saying that, please take it. You are trying to give it to me. No, give it wherever you want. Please give it. No, blah, blah, blah. He was talking very little loud and trying to pester. I said, look, you got an opportunity. You lost it. Leave it. Sit down. You'll get another chance. Sit down. As I went forward with the darshan, then I just saw from the third row or something, there was not a well-to-do type of a person from his attire and the way he was. And he had a cover which is crumpled. And the moment Swami saw him from a little distance, about when he was 3 rows away from him, Swami saw him, walked a little brisk towards that boy, the gentleman, and stretched out his hand and raised that cover and picked it up and gave it to me with an instruction, keep this cover safely. So there were so many letters in my hand. If I keep it, and later Swami asked, where is the cover which I give you, special cover? Searching would be difficult because all of them are similarly looking. So what I did, I put it in my pocket. So we went up, then Swami went for the interview, and letters I was still holding it. And after the interview was over, Swami called me inside. So I thought he wanted the letters. So I took the letters and went inside. I forgot the letter which was in my pocket, but I kept it safely so that when he asked, I know where that letter is which he wants. So I don't know the name of the person, nothing I know. I've seen maybe once or twice in darshan line in a couple of months, but nothing more than that I know. So Swami called me inside. I went and gave all the letters to him. Swami took those letters, kept it inside and said, where is the letter I gave you? I said, here it's Swami. Took it out from my pocket and gave it to him. Swami did take it from me. He said, open the letter. So I just carefully, because he had not sealed it, I just opened it. Swami said, take out what is there inside. I just took out a small 3 inches by 2.5 inches or 3 inches by 4 inches, small piece of paper, printed paper, on this certain things were scribbled. And see what is it. Then I looked at it, because still, Swami tells you can't do much, I didn't even look at what it was. Then I said, Swami, this is it. Then Swami said, look at what is it. Then I said, looked at it and said, Swami, it's a bank's challan, some amount of payment which was done in a bank account. Swami said, see how much money has been written there. And I said, Swami, there's 10 rupees written. Then I put in the cover, give it to me. I asked him, give. I put it and gave it to him and keep it safely on their side separately. Then this dialogue which took place afterwards is the most important thing. Okay, these are all facts. Now comes the real thing for which Swami made me go through all these things. Swami said to me, putting with lovingly one hand on my shoulder and standing very close to me, Sudheer, Bhaskar, listen, this is the type of money from which your salary is being paid. I'll repeat it, sorry, voice has come down a little. Swami said, this is the type of money from which I'm making you paying your salaries. And this 10 rupees he has saved without spending on certain things, and saved this amount of money, went to the state bank where the account is. He paid the money and just got the receipt only and was very hesitant to give because the amount is small. But for me, amount is not important. I took the letter. You saw how affectionate he took the letter. So for him to believe that I really love what you did. What is important for me is the bhava with which you make this letter contribution and give it to me. That money which you give based on your bhava, that means the purposeful way with which you accumulate that money and provide to me, the intention with which you do it and give it to me, that is more important than the numerical number which is there on it. Remember, this is the type of money which you get your salary. Are you working for the amount of money which you have received? Remember, every rupee which you are trying to spend in your life, it's coming from somebody who has given you that money. I thought that was a great lesson for me. That was a great lesson. After that, never ever did I feel I'm getting less. But again, what people will like say, lo and behold, I never ever felt shortage of money after that. When I needed money to spend on something very important, very useful, or very important for me or for my family, money was always available in the bank. So that is the importance of money. How do you spend this type of money? All of you in a profession, all of you are in a profession, please understand. And you are being paid for the services you are rendering or the job which you are doing. It will be variable or it will be constant pay, what you get. It could be in different colors, you get the money. So irrespective of that, always remember when you're asking, taking money or spending that money, from where did it come? Whatever person has given you, always keep remembering. If I'm working in a salary, am I receiving the money with the management is giving me? Where did the management get the money from? They must have got it from some customer. What is the condition of the customer when he gave that money to you? Please remember that. I mean, this is what my learning has been. Whoever with whom I share this particular incident, I tell them, you must be conscious now of the money which you are going to get and spend. And this, I thought, is one learning I have had in my life based on this interaction Swami gave. And this is a pearl from that day in my life, me and my family members never ever look at money to be another commodity which you have earned. No. For what service you have done, what job you have done, what you have done, somebody is remunerating you for that part of your work based on his hard-earned money, either by his sweat and blood or by some other method, which is his own, please understand. We had to be that much sensitive to that money. That's why we are in our Hindu culture or Indian culture, we always elevate money to be goddess of Lakshmi. We have raised that level of the money to be a goddess. And that goddess is what you are going to have with you. Please understand. I'm not trying to be prescriptive to you. I'm just only suggesting what I learned and what it means to all of you. I'm not saying what you're doing is right, wrong. You have to decide for yourself. I am not prescribing any prescription in this particular context. Please use your judgment. Keep it for yourself. Don't try to share out of context this particular instance, because you can always twist it, tell things positively, negatively, and so many ways you can do that. But please do not, but use it for yourself and possibly with your family members. So, having said this, somebody would like to ask a question? I don't want to respond. That we'll do it at the end. Just I'll take another one or two more, and then leave it open for the forum to ask questions or give clarifications. I'll give one more incident in which this I was directly involved. That's what I'm telling you. Another one which I was directly involved is, all of you would have heard about this, unique experiment Swami was done on Gram Seva. First time we did this Gram Seva, nobody ever had an idea how to do it. And I tell you what the scheme was and what Swami wanted us to do. In the past, we are not talking about the past at all, but what other organizations we have done in the past, we are not talking about that. What he wanted the students of SSSSCHV Institute of Higher Learning, because this program was started in 2000, just during birthday, just before the birthday season, when there was some vacation, and also before starting of the new semester. Swami one day told, I'll tell you why he told this particular little later. Swami told us all that you have to go to villages around here and go and distribute food packets and pair of clothes. This is the scheme which Swami had. And it's not that you congregate all one location that particular from that village, but you'll go door to door, without missing any one single family in any location in that particular village. Go to their place of residence and give it. That's why we should show the respect to the people, irrespective of what the status condition is, whatever spiritual, whatever your social condition is. Give them that and tell this is a prasadam from Swami. Just okay, now I'll tell you what's the background for this. One day, Swami called all the faculty members and we were seated in the Bhajan hall and only exclusively teachers. And Swami came and said, holding a newspaper in his hand, with, almost you can call, with wet eyes. And his eyes said, see, I just read in the newspaper today, a mother who could not feed her children, 2 children, gave the poison to them, and she also took the poison and ended their life. Then Swami said, in Bharat, can this incident ever happen? Such an incident is permitted to be happening? What are we in the society doing when we, as part of society, come to know what is our responsibility? Then he didn't complete the thing, but he left it at that stage. But I thought over a period of time he'll tell us. So I want you to take up this particular program called Gram Seva and do it. We are all charged, and Swami told the area in which we have to go out and find the villages and what the population, etc., and go to door to door and do it. And finally, Swami gave, just before we started the program, Swami said, one thing I want you to remember, and you will not violate this instruction, is when you go to a house, you just ask the elders in the family there, how many people reside? And give that many number of food packets, and that means rice packets and laddus, and one pair of sari and dhoti to the head of the family. Never ever ask question. So many people are there in this house. Never ask that question. Even if it is, you feel it's inflated, don't worry about that. Take as many food packets as possible you need and serve them. I don't want family to feel that when they've asked, you are not given. That means Swami is not given. So given that particular, the task became even more difficult. Now, because it's easy to find out from census and other details, how many people are there in each house, and cumulative how many houses are there, little outskirts of how many are there, all that number you can find out total number of food packets and laddus required and the number of dhotis and saris. It's easy to calculate. But Swami added the dimension of what they ask. So how do you estimate how much they are going to ask? Do you always expect that everybody asks the same number of people are there? Or possibly they ask more? So Swami said very clearly, nobody should ask back the question, do you have really so many people? Show me a ration card, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing to be. You will not step into the house and see anything. You just ask, that's all. So by method or whatever you call it, there's a discussion using discrimination and with whatever experience we had in the past, all that put together we took, okay, even if Swami said, even if you take a little more, is left back, don't worry about it, but nobody should say that they have not received what they have asked. I said, okay. So we took them, and 2,000 students are going to be involved. You can just imagine, and about 20 villages we are going to do simultaneously. You can just imagine. One place means I can run around and see that everything is been done. Like me, there are few more people who are associated with Swami. Said you're all responsible for it. It's possible to look at control, but 25 villages, 2,000 people, and initially we said that, boss, how many people can we handle? We'll go at about 10:30, 11, 10 o'clock, 10:30. And Swami said, all of you should go before the lunchtime and give it to them and then come back. Not go at 4 o'clock and then distribute it. So everything. So going from here, finding out how much time it goes in the vehicles, with taking all the boys and material and all that we did all the gymnastics which we thought as part of the scheduling. And we did all that, in what you call scientific methods, because when you offer from management area, experience area, blah, 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 you call all that still. So we did all that and then we took. And somehow each group of vehicles with students, we told them that please do not. And then we said each person how many they can handle and possibly do it properly without any problem. I said about 5 to 10,000 packets alone we can be able to manage for a day. By the time we reach in that 1.5 hour slot available from say 10 o'clock to 12:30 or 12 o'clock, how many packets will we be able to distribute with so many students being around also? I said, okay, about 10,000 we'll plan. And we went to Swami saying that 10,000, no, it should be 25,000, 20,000 plus. I said, I thought, the bar is being raised so much, you have to be more cautious, In that case, a lot of things can be done, which can be a mistake also. But no mistake should take place. So in that context, we said, okay, and we planned accordingly and we started. And then slowly, every day, because once you take up a village, irrespective if the number is more or less, you have covered the village. So it fluctuated from 20 to 25,000 or 30,000 also went. It was going on and it actually started with 15,000 with the number of villages which we chose, and then slowly escalated to about 20,000, 25,000, stabilized there around that point. When we have covered most of the villages, because 2 days before we last Swami, which are the villages to be done, he will tell the villages and then estimate 1 day before and then come back and make, because you have to cook the rice that has to be done in the evening before 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Do the cooling and all that, and then add masala and everything that will make the pulihora, the colored rice. And laddus have to be prepared at least in 5 days in advance so that it becomes a little hard and not become like a powder by the time you hold in your hand. All that taken into account, you have to tell everything, estimate and do it, tell them in advance all these things. So you have to tell them at least 1 day before so they'll get the thing material ready and then schedule the people, because the number of students who are going to cook, cooks when needed, number of people, helpers needed, how many leaves have been imported, how much people are going to make, how many packs, and all these things should be ready before 5 o'clock. And 5:30 we'll have to load it in the vehicles and keep it ready, depending on the time at which you are going to leave, for which Swami said, I will tell you when to leave. So that's another variable which was there on a daily basis. So this was the situation in which you are running. Okay, by Swami's grace, you pray always to pray 1 day before and there. When we came to almost over 12, 15, 16 days of serving like this, then Swami said, these are all right, but I think we have been doing a little less. I want to do a place called Penugonda. Penugonda is one of the biggest, towns in this area. And we estimated the population to be around 45,000 plus minus, according to their census. So we went to municipal office and then whatever the Panchayat office, they collected the drawings of the roads and then estimate the number of houses. Physically went and verified all that. One day before what is called Reiki was done, everything was done, and then we'll come back and then keep ready and then give the information, and then the cooking will start and ready for the next day. And then we divide it to students and the buses and vehicles and all that, such a way that if it's a bigger area, a larger number of people, then the more number of buses will go with the more number of lorries will go with the number of food packets and all corresponding clothes and all that. This is how we were running. So 45,000 means it took a little time to plan. So 1 day gap was given to us. So we did it, and somehow by Swami's grace we covered everybody and came back. What was happening each one? I'll tell you a little later. I'm just telling what scheme, the way we went about doing it first. Then when she completed, by the time and Swami gave me the responsibility, I'm holding you responsible for till the last person comes back. It is your responsibility to see that every individual student will come back. So I have to leave after all the students leave, keep track of that, and then be in a particular place to see every vehicle which comes from that region, that area, comes back, and at every time stop the vehicle, check back, all the students have come or not, if anybody is missing and all that, and ensure that no students is left back. Because if he's left back, he does not know how to come back because he's not familiar in this area, and not buses and other things are available every time, like in the city. So you know what to do, because and it's going to be a big problem for us. So and Swami fortunately would wait till I come back, and then only he'll complete the bhajans and then go for and retire for the day. That was the routine he was following, and every day he'll wait for me and then say that, no, you'll ask me only one question. Two questions, in fact. One question, have all the students come back? And second question is, was there any shortage of food you have taken? That's all. Nothing else he asked. How much wastage was there? How much happened there? What is the problem? Nothing he asked. Only these two. So this is the way we were running. Yeah, sometimes there were more packets, but we used to give it to people outside the area which was chosen, on the roadside, huts which are there, construction activity was going on. Those people also who are not part of the zone in which you are serving are also come in and come back. So he did not come back with any food packet, because distributing here is going to become a problem. So this is the way it was running. And then when that was over, we said sigh of relief. Then I came back next day morning when I was seated. Did you all enjoy? All that is over. Are you all of you tired? Now, obviously, some people are tired, but they can't tell Swami, we are all tired. So I said, no, Swami, okay, fine. Today you take a rest. And then he called me aside and said, this is the learning from this whole thing, I'm telling you what it was. This is the most important part of the thing, exercise. I'll tell you learning before I come to this particular one. If some places, there are some areas in which when we went, people were asking a house, which is just only one room. And they said, there are 32 people are there. Just imagine, fortunately somewhere nearby, and then suddenly when they were going, I just followed them, and then they said 32. I was just physically thinking that, no, even if you keep one leg inside only, other leg is outside the room, still there will not be place for keeping all 32. And they were living that, is that the condition they were living? Or is it something gap in what he said? I said, then what Swami said came to my mind and told the boys, do not question, just give it and come, let's see what happens afterwards. We did it and came back. And somehow Swami asked, did you go to that particular house? I said, Swami, yes. How many they asked? I said, 32, Swami. Do you think 32 people can stay inside? Swami, we didn't make the judgment. As per your instructions, we said, if they have asked a number, we'll give. And boys did the same thing, Swami. The moment they said 32, without batting an eyelid, they gave it and came back. Swami is extremely happy. There are a lot of learnings from this. Okay, and what happened, because this program ran for 17 years, what after each year after year, a lot of things happened, which gives a lot of learning and so much of importance which was given for this activity. In fact, UGC, when they were evaluating universities, when they came to our university, said, tell us what is that uniquely you do something here. Then when we told about Gram Seva, they were so thrilled that somebody in the education system at university level is thinking of doing Gram Seva. They were so thrilled, and we got a lot of points for that also. And we were in the top somewhere. So what I'm just saying is that this learning was then Swami called him aside and he put his hand again, because that's how it shows how much love he has for me. And then Swami said, Sudheer Bhaskar, will you do one thing for me? Even without thinking about the hardship you have felt so far. In a very pleading tone, Swami asked me this question. Will you do something for me? Even without thinking about the hardships you are feeling. What should be my answer? And the Lord of the Lord asked me this thing. If he wanted, without us, he would have done what this guy are doing. But still he asked that question. My spontaneous answer was, yes, Swami, you just tell it will be done. Yes, Swami, please tell it will be done. You may say, what about all your students and teachers? Out of love you are telling me, but what about them? They are the people who are doing very hard work of distributing, carrying everything they are doing. Every individual is doing it. What about them? Ask them and then come back and tell me. So bhajans were getting over, and then I called all the people, as many as possible, there in one location in the big cycle one thought, which is not full all that by then. And then I talked to the boys and said, this is what Swami is asking. I didn't tell all the things that he was pleading and all that. Swami just said that he wants to ask to do. And then he told me, of course, this was a big shocker for me. Swami said, I want you to do Dharmavaram. And the population, estimated population was 1.25 lakhs. The highest we have done in a day was 45,000, 3 times for that. And then I said, Swami, yes, we will do it. I told Swami, then they told, I didn't tell all these things. I told this one, the teachers are all so scared. Some of them almost about to faint on what? My God, 1.2 lakhs is going to be there because they also, most of the people know what are the estimates of this place. Oh my God, they thought. But they never said. Then I asked them, now tell me if any of you are saying that they don't want to do. All of them unanimously, loudly, so that even Swami can hear. They said, yes, Swami will do it. For Swami, we will do it. Loud enough. Every individual student, every teacher did it. With that confidence, they came back and told Swami, yes, you heard it. Yes, they're all right. Then he told me the logic why he's asking. The reason why he was asking me this question was this. And that's the most important learning, in which we can learn a lot of things. This is what the learning for me was, and you can also learn in your own way from this incident. Swami said, you know, the population devotees of Dharmavaram have served me to my devotees. Swami said, they served me through the various devotees of mine. Because Dharmavaram is the nearest point for the train and for the terminal of the buses. Hardly 1 or 2 buses used to come to Puttaparthi. There was no railhead. The nearest point was junction was Dharmavaram, where all trains stop for 10 to 15 minutes. So everybody gets down. Then they find various means to. Sometimes buses are organized. Sometimes the Tonga, which was there. Sometimes vans will be there. Sometimes auto rickshaw will be there. Some means of method or other, the groups which come, they get into it and bring all the people here. That's how it was happening. Because at what times the train is to reach, and large number of people, devotees come during especially festival times. So at that time in the railway station, which is not that much power, people who get down and get in, anything is available for such large numbers, which is variable numbers. So the devotees have decided for many years, almost a couple of decades before this incident, for more than a couple of decades, that means from 60s and 70s, they have been feeding every devotee who gets down from the train, irrespective of the time, whatever is relevant at that point in time. If it's very early in the morning, only tea, coffee is needed, he is to serve tea, coffee. If it's a breakfast time, they used to serve breakfast. If it's lunch time, they used to give lunch time. If it is tea time, they used to give tea and snacks. If it's dinner time, they used to give dinner. And make them feel comfortable the moment they reach, without looking around, where do I find these things? And then come to Puttaparthi happy. Then Swami said, see, the amount of devotion they must be having, dedication, with their own resources, they are doing all these things. A lunch and this one is not just one item or something. Proper type of a meal. Proper type of a breakfast, proper type of snacks. That's how they used to feed them. So for that, what they have done to my devotees to serve them, I want to serve them once at least. Please do this for me. This is the logic Swami has given. And we did it. And we did it pakka beautifully. Everybody was stunned. Everybody was stunned in the public, and when others came to know across the districts, and then the government officials came to know that it was done without one hitch, without one problem, without anything happen, nothing. Nobody came and pulled out things, materials from the trucks. Nothing was done. It's all miracle happened. Let's say only Swami was able to see that everything doesn't go haywire. But the thing is, not in all the 120 villages which we went, did ever there was a mob which was attacking us and taking away things from our vehicles. That is the type of a service we have done. Okay. There are a lot of many more things which go along with that. I just give, Amey, I just give, let me complete this part. So, in Swami says in scriptures, he always used to say, the best way to do service is dasanu dasa. Serve the devotees who live by serving the devotees. Serve those who live by serving other devotees, you serve them. Dasanu dasa. That is the concept. I mean, such a great thing. Because we all want to do seva, we want to do service, we want to do a voluntary service. But whom do you want to give? That's the question. And that gives that answer for us, at least to me. Whenever we plan something, that should be. Okay, I just ask Amey. Amey?
Sairam, sir.
Yeah, unmute yourself and say what you want.
No, sir, I think it's going on very well, sir. I think you had one more incident that you wanted to share.
Yeah, that's why I just finished that also before opening up. So,
Please.
yeah, this is the thing. Because somebody said you are waiting to ask questions, respond. That's why somebody mentioned that. I got a message. Okay, fine, great. But you're there, I know that. So, but no, thank you for that, reminding about that. I got carried away a little because giving so much more explanation. Because this is such a unique thing, it's not so easy to understand what it is. And the purpose for which Swami did. People say that giving food and other things in one day, in the whole year, because every year which goes to go, one day, what difference does it make in their life? So later we came to understand it is not their life Swami is trying to change. It's the life of the students who are doing that. And after 2 years down the line, when we used to have groups discussing and then making presentation after college started and sharing their experiences, some of the students, especially MBA students who are in the professional area, some of them publicly have mentioned, sir, we had thought of going to overseas to job as soon as this is over. We are already looking at and discussing with people where I can get a job and all that. But I have decided I will not go abroad. This is the place in India. And this is the place where I should be doing service. Whatever service, whatever job I'm looking, should be able to take care of these type of people. If these type of people cannot be taken, only affluent people are going to be, or prosperous people only are going to be taken care. That is not what is expected of us from this institute. This is what I'm going to do. This is what is most important, I feel. This is huge learning, huge learning. There has been so much of transformation in the individuals, student community, teachers community, and all the people who used to be part and parcel of the whatever cooking and serving, cooking and packing and all the other infrastructure which was at the back of the end here, for doing for 125, 1.25 lakhs of population. You just imagine, they started cooking at 4 o'clock, round the clock till 10 or 10:30 also they were cooking and they're packing. People would get tired. Fantastic work was done by the devotees. And they said that Swami, they went about, ladies and gents said, even if you're not feeling well, just come for half an hour, just put papers together, put the leaves together and leave it in bunches. I mean, just imagine every individual who was in Prashanthi Nilayam, in and around, all participated in this. Did anybody invite them? Did anybody talk to them? Did anybody? Nothing. Voluntarily, everybody came. That means Swami always used to say, when you want to do good work, there's no shortage in this country. Okay, this is over. Now, this is need a long explanation because of the uniqueness of its one. This is a learning that now it comes how to pay on this gratitude. The salary which we get, the people who have made us, how do we show our gratitude to the people who have done all that? I may not do the exact person who gave the donation to me or who got my job or who got me educated. No, but the community there, I have been able to participate. That is the focus we should look at. And this I thought was most important one in our, at least in my life. Whenever I look at whatever I want to do, I always look at it from this particular angle. Am I expressing my gratitude? Am I spending the money correctly? Am I doing it for the right target? This is how I learned. Okay, one more. This one is also very, very important. Actually, as an organization, such as Central Trust had not taken up any project which is on sustainable basis for a long time to be financial commitment. It was only when the university started, the first one happened. The second one happened when we took up the super specialty hospital construction. That was foundation was laid in 1990 and 91 was the inauguration. Swami had told that the foundation stone itself that on this day, 365 days later, we are going to have the first operation to be done, heart operation to be done in the hospital. And lo and behold, everything happened in such a way that on that day, 8 operations were done in that particular year. And all of them were successful, no problem. That is the way it was done. Okay. Now, as the thing started, a huge amount of money is needed. And please understand, our success, our Central Trust, which runs all these institutions, is single one. And what are its sources of income? We don't have industries, we don't have jagirs from which income comes regularly to us, which we don't own any of those things. All the money comes like the person who gave the 10 rupees on a daily or whatever basis. That is the donations which actually sustain all these activities. And just imagine you're taking that, if you're starting super specialty hospital, okay, construction work and the cost and all that, somehow we can pull in money and then build it. But day in and day after doing it to sustain it and deliver healthcare services, can you just imagine that? And that is the thing. In this context, when Swami had mentioned, a lot of things used to happen, whatever everybody thought, okay, what are they able to contribute, they were contributing. One day Swami came in the evening with a cover in his hand and he wanted the mic to be brought. And the translator was asked to come and he was asked to stand. And Swami gave this letter to that person and asked him to read it. It was written by a primary school student. Swami opened and read. The boy had written, Swami, from the day you announced this particular project, that day onwards, I have not given my clothes to the dhobi. Every day I have to wash my own clothes. Fold it the way you told when I fold it and keep it under my pillow and started wearing that only. No ironing was done. If possible, the hostel has got 1 or 2 irons, we used to, but even if it didn't have, I used to wear that type of clothes only. Swami, I saved 100 rupees. I'm enclosing it in this. I know maybe only 2 or 3 bricks only you can get for this money. For this huge construction. Please accept this money as my contribution. I don't think anybody who heard that day, their eyes were dry. Then Swami took the mic and said, this is what it is. This is the type of people I have. People are responding. And not that they have money and then they just give in a check and go away. No. It is from their own savings. By sacrificing certain things or reducing the consumption of certain things, they have been able to gather, save it, and they're contributing. That's how this whole big mansion is being built. And that's how it is a temple of healing. That's what Swami said. It's not a hospital, it's a temple of healing. In Hindi, they say, "Boon boon se sagar banti hai." Every drop counts, contributes to the ocean. In the same way, every effort counts. So please understand, nothing is big for us. Nothing is too small for us. If we have the will and if we have the determination and our chosen methods of doing is correct, we'll always be successful. Of course, the grace of the Lord is always important. Is always, Swami says, and grace is always there. It depends on whether you like rain when it falls. Are you going to hold your vessel with the mouth up or with the mouth down? It's up to us. So, thank you very much. It's a 1 hour which I wanted to spend. I'm not sure if any of you would like to ask questions. I thought there are many more, but I thought these are 3 different aspects in which we can learn a lot for our own lives, either in our profession or in our personal life. And if possible, time permitting, I'll talk in one of the sessions on what is called as the ceiling of desires, so that we will know what are the things which you are doing which are not properly being done, what are the opportunities available for us. Of course, I'm not wasting my time on any of them right now. I hope, Dr. Mukundan, if there's a coordinator for this,
Side up, sir. Side up, sir.
you can ask. I'm open for any ask. Amey is also present. If not me, Amey will answer.
Brothers and sisters, this is the time for discussion. And you have seen, Professor Sudheer Bhaskar, sir, so much close physically with Bhagwan, coming with Swami for every darshan, moving with Swami, so that, these are not germs actually, and there won't be any word in the dictionary most appropriate for the lesson that Swami has taught, sir, and through sir, all of us. You can participate in the discussion, please, without wasting time. Sairam.
Sairam, Sudhir Bhaskar sir.
Yeah, Sai Mohan.
Sairam sir, Sai Mohan sir. I'm from Tinagar Samiti sir. Sir, really it was very mind blowing, and the way you communicated about Grama Seva, it is so touching, sir. Really, I was in my eyes. I was literally the way you said. Initially, we started with like 25,000. Then we went to 75. Then 1.2 with Dharmavaram to people to cover. That is really, see, so of course, everything is Bhagwan's will, and Swami is only giving all the strength. But the essence you said was very catchy. The bhava, what intention, what is the intention which you want to serve? That is really the thing, sir. Because, of course, this is, we also, see, it's not like we also do Grama Seva, but it is not so as in Swami's, the way Swami does it. We are doing it in a like selected houses. We go and we call them, ask them to stand in a row, and we give it. But the lesson which I learned is that should not be like that. You need to go door by door and give them. That is the catch which you said, sir. That is really with this really, sir. These lessons all I will also discuss with our people, and we will take it forward, sir. It's a very heart-touching session, sir, which I really enjoyed, sir. Sairam, sir.
Thank you, Sai Mohan.
Sairam, sir.
I mean, if it's communicated to make you change your own self, I think the purpose of what Mukundan has tried to organize these sessions, I think is fulfilled. Mukundan sir, if I think time is up, we can
continue, sir. No problem. It is only 8:33. If there are any questions, please, anything you want to get more clarification from sir? Sir, I think there is no more questions, sir, I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how many are there.
Yes, Amey, anything to add?
Sairam sir. Just one thought which came to my mind was, since we are all here who participate in the media industry, oftentimes, our focus is constantly on information. And today there is no dearth of information that is available. There are multifarious avenues and sources of information. But one thing that Swami would always talk about is that information resulting in transformation? Otherwise, we get inundated by so much information. And I think all the stories that Sir shared with us today, his personal experiences, are one which we can either look at them in the form of in another information, just like so many other satsangs happen, so much experiences are shared, and one can look at them as information, or one can use them as tools for our own transformation. As Sir very beautifully said, Swami looks at only our bhava and not the bahya. He is bhava priya, not bahya priya. Right? So I think that is one lesson that comes out very, very strongly. Whether it was the story of that simple man who just gave 10 rupees to Swami, or it was the young boy who washed his own clothes and gave 100 rupees to Swami. The quantity does not matter. It is the quality of our offering that matters. And so, our appeal from Prashanthi Nilayam to all of you is, it is not the number of people whom we are able to touch, but if we are able to do any little bit that we can in our own organizations, in our family, to convey to them Swami's love, whether we may be working in print media, or we may be working in digital media, or maybe even in social media. Can we do something to take Swami's message to the broader world, so that Swami's love and his grace can flow to them and thereby bring about transformation? Those were just my thoughts about, from whatever I heard of these beautiful stories from Sir. Thank you, Sir.
Thank you,
Both-
Amey. Thank you very much. Because I didn't have time to cover that aspect. And we really covered it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amey. Sir, with your permission, as a conclusion for this session, sir, it is so beautiful, sir. I don't know, the word beautiful is not sufficient again. Every word gone directly to our heart. And when you were explaining the Grama Seva, I still remember with a walkie-talkie, you were running here and there, arranging everything. I was remembering all these during the Grama Seva. And this is great, sir, because Swami once said, connecting a person with God is the greatest seva. And many hearts who are attending here, sir, their hearts have been already connected with Bhagavan more closely and more lovingly. Thank you, sir, for this beautiful session. Thank you, Amey. And we thank all participants who have joined us today's session. And we pray to our beloved Bhagavan to bless all of you. And let us wait for the next session. And we request you, sir, again, we will continue whenever possible with the learning from Swami, because so that we will ask more devotees also to join, because this is the greatest thing we can provide. Those who are having the direct experience from Bhagavan, this is the greatest thing that we can provide for the people who are coming to contact with Bhagavan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Amey. And thank all the participants. And with your permission, sir, with Amey permission, we've concluded this and place everything at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan. Sathya.
Sairam. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be serving this good and permitting me to hear, have my own learning, so that I can transform and become a person whom you want me to be. So that by the end, I'm happy that I reach thy divine lotus. Jai Sai.
Sai.
Sairam, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Saira.
Sairam. Sairam.
Saram.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam.
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 Srinivas from
Sairam.
Kerala.
Saira.
Thank you. Immense thanks.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai.
Jai.
सारा
Sairam.
Sairam, sir. Sairam.
Saira.
Sairam.
Saira.
Sairam, sir.